Begin by safely raising and supporting your vehicle, as well as removing the rear wheels. For additional assistance with those tasks, please follow the link provided at the end of this video. Next, remove the brake pad wear sensor from the connector on the rear of the wheel carrier. Follow the wire towards the front, removing it from the retaining clip, red arrow. Use your hands or pliers and remove the old wear sensors. If your wear sensor has activated, you cannot reuse them. There is a sensor on the inboard and outer pad on the rear. Pull the retaining pin clip out from the inboard side, blue arrow. Use a punch and a small hammer and tap out the retaining pin towards the inside side of the caliper, green arrow. Watch for the spring clip as the retaining pin is removed. It can fly off, green arrow. You're going to be pushing the pistons back into the calipers. This will cause brake fluid in the system to move back up into the reservoir. Open the front trunk and remove the access panel for the brake fluid reservoir indicated by the red arrow. Make sure there is room for the fluid to enter the reservoir. The pads are really worn and the fluid level is between the max, red arrow, and minimum, blue arrow, then you may need to suction a little out. Constantly check as you are compressing the pads back into the caliper. Use a brake pad spreader and compress the pads outward, pushing the pistons back into the caliper, blue arrow. If you don't have a spreader, you can use a screwdriver. Just make sure not to get it on the rotor or damage the boots around the pistons. You want to get your thin trim removal tool between the pads and the caliper to separate them. Again, use care around the dust boots on the piston. Pull the pads out. Here you can see one of the shims or retainer clips has stayed in the piston, green arrow. If any of the shims or dampening plate stays in the caliper, use your trim removal tool or pliers to retrieve them, green arrow. I removed the caliper to show you what you will be doing between the rotor and the caliper. One pad shim is complete, blue arrow, and the other one, just the clip, stayed in place. The green arrow indicates the dust boot that you will not want to damage when separating the shims. Installation is the reverse of removal. Make sure to remove the cover on the sticky side of the shims or dampeners. Remember to top up the brake fluid as needed and pump the brake pedal a few times before driving to set the new pads. Brake pads need to be properly bedded or broken in. Break in your pads according to the manufacturer of the pads you purchased. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and check out another video in this series.